big improvements being made to the water supply in Long Island. And a former senator is laid to rest today.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC, every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Creating a more vibrant and developed Bahamas is what Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis wants to achieve during his 5-year term in office. During a rally last night at the Free National Movement's headquarters to commemorate the party's 2017 general election win, Prime Minister Minnis listed some of the achievements his government has accomplished since coming to office last year. Here's Altaviz Munnings.
When Free National Movement members and supporters assembled at the party's Mackey Street headquarters Thursday night to commemorate the party's 2017 general election win, they heard from Free National Movement Party leader Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis on some of the achievements his government has accomplished for the past year. From the economy to crime, tourism, education, and energy reform, the Prime Minister said his administration will bring significant reform, change, and transformation to the Bahamas over the next 5 years.
Both Atlantis, Paradise Island, and Bahama are doing exceptionally well. We have a number of exciting tourism and investment projects slated for Grand Bahama. We will continue to promote investment opportunities in the islands of the Bahamas. We also have an ambitious infrastructure program slated for a number of our islands. Recognizing that staff skills and competencies have a direct correlation with educational results, the Ministry of Education has embarked on the mandatory training and professional development exercise of its entire staff complement. We have begun in the Southwest area in New Providence with the finalization of a commitment to construct a new primary school.
The Free National Movement leader told members and supporters that the party can only achieve historic reform and revitalization when they are all stronger together.
Those who seek to divide us do so out of their own selfish and narrow interests. They are more loyal to their cause than they are to needs of the Bahamian people. Those who say we have accomplished little have purposely closed their eyes and ears because it is in their interest to sow discord.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Free National Movement Deputy Leader, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, clarifying again why the government had to borrow $1.4 billion at the party's mini-rally last night. He noted that the government had to pay numerous bills left by the former Progressive Liberal Party administration. Turnquest, who was also the Minister of Finance, acknowledged that expenses engaged on behalf of the Bahamian people must bring value to the Bahamian people, as there is no money to waste. He explained how the government plans to lower the country's deficit.
We want to bring that debt down from a number that is approaching $8 billion. We want to bring that down. It's 57% of GDP. We want to bring it down to 50% of GDP as a start within the next 2 years. We want to bring our annual deficit down from $322 million down to 1.8% in the first instance, coming down to 1.5% of GDP. We want to be down below $200 million. Yes. It's the only way that we're going to be able to balance our budget and to start to make a dent in this massive debt that we have.
Meanwhile, National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dames, also talked about the state of the economy when the Free National Movement came to office. He says they had lots of work to do.
It is expected that there will be challenges, and those challenges are as a result of any number of things, including what we met as an administration when we took office. The financial position of this country was in very dire straits. And if we're going to be successful in rolling out any number of agendas in any number of these departments, you need finances to push it along the way. And so as a government, we clearly understood that, and we knew exactly what we had to do coming in to begin the process of rolling out our agenda. And we're beginning to do that. The economy now is beginning to take a turn, but there's still a significant deficit as a country that we have to contend with. And so I believe as we move forward into the next fiscal period and beyond, Bahamians will get an opportunity to see exactly why they elected this government to power.
And to hear more on the government's work over the past year, you can tune in on Sunday at 8 p.m. to the program Free National Movement, A Year Beyond the Polls with host Shanique Miller. Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer says after 1 year in office, government is delivering on its promise to rejuvenate this country. He says Grand Bahama is on an upswing and the reality of it becoming a major tech hub is closer than before. He noted that GIBC Digital will be opening an office on the island, engaging 50 Grand Bahamians. Culmer also talked about the Over the Hill project, saying the 6 pillars involved in the plan will work to improve the lives of inner city residents. He says it is hard for some to see how far government has come, but Bahamians are feeling and seeing the change. Culmer says things are improving and the country is finally heading in the right direction.
Some $60,000 on.
Although the Water and Sewage Corporation is continuing the Long Island Water Supply Improvement Project with a second phase to begin in about 6 weeks, Executive Director of the corporation, Adrian Gibson, could not say when the entire island will have access to city water. BHM Company Limited was awarded a $3.5 million contract Thursday, and Gibson says a contract will be awarded to another company for a third phase, at the end of which time the corporation would have spent more than $10 million. A timeline was not given for when that contract would be awarded. He says the corporation has also drafted estimates to supply water to the Cape Santa Maria and Stella Maris resorts. Gibson, who is also the island's Member of Parliament, says they hope to complete as much as the budget will allow during government's 5-year term.
Certainly, the third phase, with the additional lots further north, we're looking to complete within this term. The phase is looking furthest south and furthest north. We are examining ways and means now as to how we could complete, whether that means entering into public-private partnerships or raising the money some other way, borrowing, using in-house personnel. So we're exploring all the options at this point.
Government is discussing the possibility of enforcing a code of conduct for the now privately funded Bahamas Carnival. But Minister of Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, says a wider public discussion must be had on whether action should be taken to enforce an overall standard of public behavior. His comments came in the aftermath of Bahamas Carnival, where there has been intense criticism, particularly by some in the religious community, about revelers parading through the streets half naked. Pintard says if the religious community claims some of the public spaces with events of their own, it could be more effective than criticizing. But he believed it is not government's role to ban everything because one group considers it offensive. While government has had talks about behavior at Bahamas Carnival, Pintard says it does not want to come across as hypocrites.
If you were to travel in the area of downtown any given day when cruise ships are in, the same clothing that's being worn in Carnival is on display on Bay Street from the cruise ship to the various beaches, etc. Is it inappropriate and illegal according to our laws for Carnival? Then it must be inappropriate and illegal for what we are permitting our tourists to do or Bahamians in public spaces, because a number of our residents at parties using public spaces like beaches or parks are wearing similar clothes. And so this is a debate that we must have as a community, and then we must make a firm determination as to whether or not the law is in fact being followed.
And when we come back, we take a look at the Bahamian movie Ungrateful. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box. Fully loaded and made fresh for only you. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Statistics will carry out its annual labor force survey during the period of November. Enumerators with official identification cards from the department will visit selected households in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, and will be calling upon residents to complete the questionnaires honestly and accurately. The information obtained will be handled in the strictest confidence and will be used to maintain essential statistical data on our country.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Former Senator Clara Hall King was remembered today as hundreds gathered for a state-recognized service at St. Agnes Anglican Church. Appointed as senator during the Pinling era, Senator Dion Folks, speaking on behalf of the government, paid tribute to a woman who played all of her roles with passion.
How many of us in this sacred place this morning, in knowing of her full life, her commitment and her sacrifices, can fail to see the very highest qualities of motherhood, patriotism, and love of God? Her long life of achievements, both in the Christian ministry and secular commitments, was not like a light hidden under a bushel, but shone forth brightly for all the world to see.
PLP leader Philip Brave Davis says Hall King was a woman of purpose, setting out on a course of achievement early in life.
She must have appreciated that she had to make something of herself in the late 40s and 50s when she was a young girl. Whether prodded by her parents or on her own initiative, she set about to do something with her life's journey, with the key ideals of continuous education and self-improvement. Time for her represented opportunity, and time was not to be wasted. Every second, every minute, every day of her life was an opportunity for something to be accomplished.
A man who is excelling in the maritime field is giving back to his alma mater that helped to shape and mold him into becoming a productive citizen and an ambassador for his country. Yesterday, he attended a special assembly held at his former primary school.
I went to 3 schools at Fox Hill. Which one do I choose? It has to be where you started.
Acting CEO and Managing Director of the Bahamas Maritime Authority, Captain Dwayne Hutchinson, boasting about the knowledge he gained from the Sandilands Primary School, an institution he says gave him that extra push he needed to rise to the top in the maritime industry. Captain Hutchinson says obtaining a full scholarship while getting paid to explore the world afforded him the opportunity to fulfill his long-time dream within the lucrative maritime sector.
I left Foxdale Subdivision, got on a plane, flew all the way over to Scotland, and started my shipping education. In Scotland, Scotland is the coldest, darkest, bleakest place you want to go to in the winter. I never saw the sun for 1 month. The only way you knew the difference between day and night was because that's when your watch came up. But I persevered.
Minister of Transport and Local Government, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, informed the energetic primary school students that there are a number of employment opportunities available for them in the maritime industry, but they must do their best academically to prepare themselves. He used Captain Hutchinson as an example.
Captain Dwayne Hutchinson, sat in the same seats where you now sit some years ago. The teachers that were here then prepared Captain Hutchinson to be what he is now. But Captain Hutchinson had to do some things too. Captain Hutchinson had to listen to those teachers, yes? Captain Hutchinson had to do his homework. Those ships have up to 5,000 passengers, but those same ships have 1,500 to 2,000 persons working on them. Those are jobs that will be waiting for you, for your aunts, your uncles.
Maritime Week honoree Peter Galandris gave the students a pep talk about the future and benefits of the maritime industry.
The maritime world is like a big family, and we want you to be part of that family. We want you, as you're growing up, we want you to work hard, and we want you to consider that maritime is a good place to be. It'll take good care of you, it'll bring you home safely, it'll teach you skills, it'll help you get ahead, and it'll help you, just like Captain Hutchinson.
And the assembly would not be complete without a special Junkanoo rush out by Fox Hill's very own Original Congos.
Guilty of this at some point in our lives, and that's being ungrateful, whether we meant to be or not. And that's what the newest Bahamian film, Ungrateful, written and produced by Dario Poitier, is all about. Bahamian actor Nathan Burrows is playing the lead role, Sam.
It pretty much tells the story about a typical Bahamian mother who sacrificed everything to send her one son off to school with hopes of him coming back to pave a way to financial freedom. But as fate would have it, he would fall in love with this girl from America, and he completely turns his back on his mother.
Pretty much Sam is what everyone's now calling Mr. Ungrateful. And he pretty much goes off to school and really disconnects from his family. And that is something that I guess I personally got a chance to experience in my life. So this has just been a pleasure to be able to do that.
Stay close. Sports is up next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Ready
Hey, what you saying, baby? Mother's Day coming, what you gonna buy the wifey?
Boy, I can't even sleep. The wife keep complaining that she tying up these cabinet doors because they keep dropping off.
Boy, you better go down by corner Bahamas on Queens Highway, and they have a location in Nassau. They're having a 35% store-wide sale until May 18th, and you can lay away until October 31st.
My Lord, you ain't serious?
Yes, boy. And they just carry all maplewood cabinets, flooring, tiles, windows, and some pretty colored granite.
Django, I got dust down the corner Bahamas.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your first look at sports on a Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. New Providence Women's Basketball Association playoffs will resume this evening at the Donald Davis Gym. Connectors have 1-0 on the Cheetahs, both teams with adjustments to make.
Just more defense, that's it. We just need defense. Last game we didn't play defense at all. We missed a lot of free throws. We turned the ball over. We got out rebound.
Boomerang operators lead the Foxy's Angels, and despite the lead, Coach Tony Culmer not taking his foot off the gas.
All I need to do is just control and put in a little bit of plays, and they play under poise, and we'll be all right.
The ladies' national basketball team will hold their first practice session Saturday morning at 8 at the Kendall Isaac Gym. They are now under interim coach Wade Watson.
Players out there who are part of the diaspora, the Bahamian diaspora, and may be interested in playing, we always welcome them. All players, female players who are aware of players outside and may be interested in coming to participate, we like to also encourage them to encourage those persons to come apart. But for me, just being mentioned last week or being brought to my attention last week, and not necessarily being as a part of the women's program, this is my first time. So it's kind of challenging for me because I don't know a lot of the players. I only follow them when they travel and compete. But in terms of knowing who the players are and finding those players, I'll have to rely on Coach Yo and Pharrell and so on and so forth to facilitate.
Good news for some of our Crifter track and field medalists. They will finally get their overdue medals.
On Saturday, the Bahamian athletes will receive their medals from the Crifter Games. So at the National Stadium between 1 and 3 p.m. there's going to be a celebratory event for the Bahamian athletes where they would receive their medals. Amongst B3A's executives, members of the Crifter LLC, family and friends will be present for that event.
Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation National and Novice Championships all set for Saturday at the Malaya Resort. Lots of new divisions will be strutting their stuff.
Women's wellness is a new division that has just came about in the bodybuilding fitness segment arena, and of course it's more based on a woman that is pretty much, they call it full built, that has dynamics or genes of a big woman. Of course, she will never get really small to be some slender, small built woman. So for that, she can get her body in tip-top shape, and then you will see a combination of muscle, but yet great curves.
And that's going to be your first look at sports at 6 o'clock. We'll have much more coming up at 7.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial star 203 pound to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Just like in a song from days of yore, here you come a knocking, knocking on my door, and I never met a girl like you before.
Adrian Gibson. Now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm gonna go to Long Island, and you should come too.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau.
Let's go.
Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Tune into the ZNES Television Network for daily coverage of the 2018 World Cup from the first round beginning Thursday, June 14th through to the finals on Sunday, July 15th. All on the ZNES Television Network.
In our first look at weather satellite pictures showing a blob of showers and thunderstorms in the vicinity of the Exumas and Long Island. That area is pretty much stationary at this moment. Outside of our studios, we're under partly sunny skies. The temperature 79 degrees, relative humidity 69%. The winds are out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1,017.7 millibars. That is 30.06 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't you move. News from the Northern Bahamas is up next.
Members of Parliament outlining the government's accomplishments since coming to office. The Minister of Labor touring one of the industrial areas on the island. And the 3 defendants in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial learning their fate.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. The Free National Movement celebrating its first year in office this week. The FNM won the 2017 general election by a landslide on May 10th, capturing 35 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly, including all 5 on Grand Bahama. Tonight, these MPs say much work has been done 1 year later, but they have only just begun. 3 of 5 members of Parliament on Grand Bahama attending a press briefing to highlight the government's achievements over the past year. Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Iram Lewis, says great focus was placed on the national recovery and renovation efforts put in place by the government to assist residents and businesses whose structures were damaged as a result of the recent storms.
In Marco City, we have helped 109 homes. In West Grand Bahama, 188 homes. Central Grand Bahama, 133 homes. In Pine Ridge, 105. And in East Grand Bahama, 108. And we currently have approval for an additional 330, including 10 tornado victims.
He adds that there are also many other capital works projects taking place on this island.
The residents of Smiths Point extremely happy, and again, the quality of work is outstanding. The community is now protected. The defense wall is completed. The only outstanding matter now is the construction of the roadway and the sidewalk. We visited the fishing hole road, and work is underway. While we have some concerns that all of the problems will not be solved with the construction of that causeway, we do believe that it will make a significant difference. With respect to the school, the primary school, work is going on very well, and we also inspected the government complex, where work again is ongoing.
MP for Marco City, Michael Pintard, says that the government ministries are also partnering together to achieve much success.
The Office of the Prime Minister here in Grand Bahama, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, is but one example where to date, approximately 80 entrepreneurs have received in the vicinity of $5,000 apiece, some of them $10,000, to jumpstart businesses. And the businesses have been started in areas where there is a gap in the economy or where there's opportunity for them to thrive in this environment.
West Grand Bahama and Bimini MP Pakeisha Parker-Edgecombe says that they are grateful that Bahamians have entrusted them to chart the country's course over the next few years, and is adamant that they will not disappoint the people of the Bahamas.
Do believe that in the months to come, the Grand Bahama community will see and will actually believe in themselves, having voted us into power, that they did not make a mistake, because we are very dedicated to ensuring the growth and prosperity of Grand Bahama.
The Minister of Labor on Grand Bahama for a familiarization tour of one of the companies in the industrial sector. Our Megan Shepard was there.
Bahama Rock, operating under Martin Marietta, is an American-based company and a leading supplier of aggregates and heavy building materials. The Minister of Labor, the Honorable Dion Folks, along with a delegation, toured that facility to speak with employees and to gain an understanding of operations. Minister Folks says he is very pleased with the ratio of Bahamians and non-Bahamians at the company.
We have approximately 86 full-time employees, of which 82 are Bahamian and 4 are non-Bahamian. We also have vendors that cater to Bahama Rock, and that represents about 10 additional persons. So in total, there are 92 Bahamian employees here and 4 non-Bahamians. I think that's probably one of the best ratios that I have seen in a very long time.
General Manager Lance Brown says that the company is very pleased to work along with the various agencies under the Department of Labor, which help in facilitating the training of and the placement of Bahamian employees. He says they fully understand the importance of being an integral part of the Bahamian community and economy.
We are excited about the opportunities that we bring to the island and our training that we do with the BNT, with the NTA, and so on and so forth. We've done quite a bit of training, and we've hired quite a few of those individuals as well. And so the sponsorship there is something that we enjoy doing, and we know that the youth are very important to the success of this island and for the country.
Members of Parliament Pakeisha Parker-Edgecombe and Aram Lewis also were part of the delegation. They both commended the company for their community outreach efforts.
When we think of corporate citizens, particularly those of this magnitude, our mindset is always that we want to have opportunities for our labor force, and I think that Bahama Rock precisely does that for us. I can say that quite a number of the constituents of West Grand Bahama and Bimini has benefited as a result of being employed at this establishment, and for that we are very grateful, and we look forward to future growth.
I can speak to the fact that they are community-oriented, and we appreciate what they're doing now, and we anticipate a long-lasting relationship where the Bahamas will continue to, Grand Bahama in particular, will continue to be built in partnership with companies like Bahama Rock.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In other news, 20 high school students graduated from the Ministry of Education's Technical Cadet Corps program on Thursday evening during a special ceremony at the Social Affair Convention Center. Family and friends gathered to witness this grand occasion. Here again is Megan Shepard.
For the past 3 years, the students enrolled in the Technical Cadet Corps program studied in the courses of electrical technology, mechanical technology, engineering drawing, engineering science, and electronics. Established in 1990, the program prepares students for careers in the technical and vocational fields. Executive Director Foster Dorset congratulating the students for completing one of the country's most elite programs.
I always say for the past 2 years that you are the elite student in your school, because this is an elite program, the best program in the country, and you are now a graduate of that program. It's your hard work for the past 3 years. You had the support of your parents, your teachers, your friends, and all culminate in this ceremony which you are now a part of.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, emphasizing the timely nature of the theme, technical and vocational education, the way of the future. He notes that students are no longer simply competing nationally, but internationally, and that this program helps to prepare them for the future.
Long gone are the days where we simply rely on strict academic courses that lead to traditional occupations. We are now living in an era where you must be as savvy and as competent in technology as you are in English and in math. That is the period that we're heading into.
Minister Pintard also encouraged the graduates to continue to push their academic and professional endeavors.
Graduates, nothing prevents you from continuing as you must your education, while at the same time becoming entrepreneurs. Counterparts in your age bracket have embarked on creative businesses to create apps, to design websites, to manage Facebook pages, to become inventors, solving basic and complex problems while they are studying. So nothing prevents you from being among the pacesetters internationally to do incredible things in the area of engineering, in the area of technology, and in a wide array of areas in vocational studies.
Students were presented with awards for various accomplishments. 8 were awarded full scholarships to various institutions, including PTVI and the University of the Bahamas. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
A verdict handed down in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial late Thursday evening in the Supreme Court after 8 months of evidence. Jurors deliberated for more than 6 hours before delivering a decision regarding the 3 men accused of the double murder of the couple in September of 2015. Clara Hall reports.
Members of the Grand Bahama community all gathered outside the Carnival Justice Center on Thursday evening, all anxiously waiting to hear the jury's verdict. Now the jury was deliberating since 12 noon. While the jury deliberated, police presence was heavy outside and inside the court. Curious onlookers surrounding the Justice Center were asked to stand to one side to make way for the accused men as they were brought into the Supreme Court. The men were escorted in by armed police officers. The media and the attorneys were then all allowed to enter the courtroom. Family members and friends of the deceased and the defendants then assembled in the court. They were then followed by the jury. They arrived shortly after 7 p.m. and delivered the verdict. For Paul Belazaire, he was found guilty on the armed robbery charge, but there was a hung jury on the charges of murder for the couple. For Devon Hall, he was found guilty on all 3 counts, which are armed robbery and the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson. And as for Kevin Dames, there was a hung jury on all 3 charges. Justice Estelle Gray Evans then asked each defendant to stand, and she explained the verdict to them. Shortly after that, she discharged the jury and thanked them for their service. The 3 men were immediately taken from the courtroom and into an awaiting police bus. Persons outside the court could be heard cheering as the men were taken away. Counsel for Paul Belazaire, Jeffrey Farquharson, says he is extremely grateful to the jury for their dedication and their ability to sit through an 8-month trial. but he says he's disappointed in the armed robbery conviction for his client.
We are going to the Court of Appeal, and I'm trying to get there as quickly as possible. But that's why we have a Court of Appeal. You know, juries don't always get it right. Courts don't always get it right. That's why there is a Court of Appeal.
Attorney Carlton Sherlin, representative for Kevin Dame, says while he may sometimes disagree, he never questions the jury's verdict. And in the case of Kevin Dames, it was quite obvious that he was not a part of the crime.
It appears as if there were 6 people who decided that he was and 6 who didn't. In this case, Kevin has to be considered for bail because he's been in jail for 2 years and 9 months. The law provides that if you be in jail for 3 years on remand, you almost have a constitutional right for bail. And so that is why I made the application. I'm very disappointed that the Crown would put up so much resistance.
Shirley Stubbs, the mother of Sheena Johnson, says she knows that justice will be served and thanked the public for their support.
I have to take sometimes sleeping pills to sleep to say I know how my child was murdered so brutally. And I know it had to be a sick person who did that, because Tina was a very, very nice person, very, very honest, upright citizen, you know, and I'm going to miss her.
Now it is understood that the Attorney General's office intends to recharge Belizaire and Dames on the murder charges. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thank you, Talia. Now, the sentencing is expected to be done at a later date. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Dolly Madison's Ace Housewares and Plant Nursery departments are set to make this Mother's Day her best ever with a 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday. Choose from Dolly's vast selection of modern houseware items and gadgets to make her life easier. Then head on over to the Plant Nursery for roses, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, and more. This Friday and Saturday only at Dolly Madison's Ace Houseware and Plant Nursery Mother's Day sale.
Come on down now.
Ah, Mother's Day is here. Give her the gift she really wants from Tease Perfume Depot over in the Culmerville Plaza, or call them at 352-9554.
2 mothers, 2 miracles.
I said, Lord, you didn't tell me He was going to take my baby. By the grace of God, He's our miracle.
Phenomenal features an historic premiere by a local songbird, a Bahamian female, a trailblazer in the world of sports, a phenomenal exclusive with a government minister, and local hotel officials on the way forward. Youngsters on what makes their moms so phenomenal. OMG, spring fashion is in the air. It is a phenomenal Mother's Day special this Friday at 8 p.m.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
The Grand Bahama Homecoming Committee brings you Taris Riley live in concert Saturday, May 19th, Gombe Park International Bazaar. Don't you miss it. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
That's all I have. Welcome back. After suffering major damage and having most of its facilities destroyed following Hurricane Matthew, the Young Men's Training Association, located in the community of Hunters, is gearing up for a major comeback. Megan Shepard reports.
The Young Men's Training Association began in 1968 in the Southern District. 25 years after it started, the group established a community center, but the facility suffered significant damage following the recent hurricanes. Since then, donations from corporate Grand Bahama, in partnership with Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, the center has been renovated and even upgraded. The relaunch and renaming is set for Saturday, May 12th.
The building will now be called the Wheatley Grant Empowerment Center. Mr. Grant is one of the founding members of the YMTA, which I note was founded some 50 years ago by the local residents. He has given much physically and monetarily to the establishment of this facility and has sat and continued to sit as its president for a number of years. The playing field will now bear the name of the late Bernard Tampa Russell, who was also a founding member. And finally, after talking with several members of the organization, it was decided to name the basketball court in honor of Mr. Fletcher Lewis Jr., a native of Hunters who have excelled in every sport.
The relaunch will include an all-day family fun day with free food for the children, activities, entertainment, and a petting zoo. Lewis adds that the center will also introduce a very unique feature.
We are creating the first smart park in Grand Bahama with the installation of an OmniFlow device. Now, this device is special and it consists of several components. It's a hybrid LED light system powered by solar and wind. The system also has a router built in that can offer Wi-Fi signals. So we intend to have free Wi-Fi in the area for those living around. And the system also has the ability to be upgraded to include a 360-degree closed-circuit TV camera. So if the children are here enjoying the Wi-Fi, persons on the park playing, the facilities will have constant surveillance.
The center will also house a garden and green space for all residents to enjoy. Lewis adds that the center is in a prime location that holds tremendous potential to help impact and grow the community through a number of programs.
It's a multi-purpose playing field that we have out there. And of course, we have the batting cage there for softball and possibly baseball also. But again, the field is flexible. It can be adjusted for soccer, flag football, as well as softball and baseball. On Saturday, you will see even more advanced work. We have some more gardening to do, more colorful plants to do, and we hope that this will be the start of transforming the entire Orla community, creating green space, putting up some nice colorful plants, some cocoa plum and sea grape hedges.
A senior citizen luncheon will begin at 5 p.m., followed by a Golden Oldies night. Lewis is inviting all constituents to take part and to attend fully dressed in their best Golden Oldies attire. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Finally, news this evening, Mother's Day is just 2 days away, and tonight we wrap up our Mother's Day features as we introduce to you a woman who is not just a mother of 9, but a mother to her entire community. Clara Hall has more.
Many of you may know Mrs. Loretta Pinling Jones. She's originally from New Providence but has spent years residing in the community of 8 Mile Rock. She worked as a maid for many of the major hotels on the island and also at the Rand Memorial Hospital. She was also a unionist and sold lunch at the 8 Mile Rock High School. She is a mother of 9, 6 girls and 3 boys. She says she's often referred to as Mrs. Pinling, and if you were wondering why, she says it all began because of her dedication to the Progressive Liberal Party.
Oh, where that Pinling name came from was me campaigning and everybody just called me as Pinling because I was always in the front. And when you see the ADC with Cylinder, and I run in towards him and they want, he tell them, no, you leave her alone. I run to him, no matter where he is. I find him my way to get in there, and he just tell them, let me through.
She says not only was she a mother to her children, but to many in the community as well, always willing to give. She says to date, her neighbors only feel 100% safe when she's home because she's always looking out on her porch.
I used to cook them big pots. I got one in there now, you can see. Food for churches through billing, for donation for church. Do the police march. I do funeral marches. I direct them, and I go out there, and anybody die, to the house. I check in them out. I cook in. I grow up a lot of children. A lot of children love me. I mean, I say, when my funeral, I tell them they probably have to have it on the park because there's so many people that I come in contact with. I just make friends.
Jones says she was very instrumental in the development of many things in her community, ensuring that crossing guards were in place to help children get home. She says at the end of the day, she does it all because of the love in her heart.
But I always had love. I born and grew with that. My parents grew me that way. So that's something I can't change.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome. Jackie from Nassau asked, I've been using diet teas for many years now, but recently I was told that these teas might be harmful and that using them long-term might lead to a form of eating disorder. Is this true? Jackie, thank you for your question. Diet teas are a popular choice for many people who want to drop a few pounds. Just like anything else, it is important to understand what diet teas are and how they work, and if there are any risks associated with them before you put them in your body. Most diet teas contain a herb called senna, which acts like a laxative. This herb stimulates your intestines and causes an increase in elimination of water and waste by increasing bowel movements. While this may cause a reduction in a few inches around your waist, it is not true weight loss because there's really no increase in fat burning. As I mentioned before, the only effective way to lose weight is to eat healthier and increase physical activity. With long-term use of these products, there's a risk that your bowels may stop functioning normally, which might lead to dependence on these products. Long-term use can also change the amount or balance of some chemicals in the blood called electrolytes, which can cause problems with your heart rhythm, muscle weakness, liver damage, and other harmful effects. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we come back.
A Social Affair invites you this Sunday, May 13th, to a special Mother's Day brunch featuring the Cooling Waters. Phone 602-6292 or 727-6292 for reservations.
Hi, sweetie. Could you give me...
High five.
No, honey. I was asking.
The remote control?
No, I want...
A kiss. You're so pretty.
Get the KFC Big Box!
2 pieces of chicken, fries, coleslaw, corn, and our new cinnamon biscuit bites, and a 20-ounce drink. Only at KFC Freeport. KFC, always original and finger-licking good.
Get the KFC Big Box!
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
The Grand Bahama Homecoming Committee and Sans Bear present Old School vs. New School Bear Fest Friday, May 18th, Premier Lounge Grounds, Queens Highway. Gates open at 6, admission free before 8.
Well, everybody, and welcome to Sports on Ricardo Live. But tonight, this one goes out to Velma Fox. Yes, that's Angelo and Teet's mother. She's celebrating this weekend. Tony Fox, nothing for you, okay? Let me tell you, the Grand Bahama Franco Miller Jr. is now officially head of the University of Mississippi. Yes, he's going to be a rebel. He had a grade A Tabernacle Baptist Academy, and Kim Mullings has the details.
The day has finally come for Franco Miller Jr. Thursday, May 10th, 2018, is a day he and many others will never forget. It's the day he announced his decision to officially become a hottie-toddy, a rebel for the University of Mississippi, before his family members, friends, and loved ones, where it all started for him at home in Grand Bahama at Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy. For him, he says the decision to go to Ole Miss over the University of Oklahoma, University of Oregon, and the University of Minnesota was an easy one.
When I went on my visit, they made me feel really comfortable. They made me feel like home, you know. And then Ole Miss is in one of the toughest conferences in college basketball, the SEC. And I have a chance to come in as a freshman, play, and have the ball in my hand. So that was pretty much something that fueled my decision.
If it wasn't Ole Miss, Miller says OU was next on the list.
Going there, I would have had to, you know, develop and learn a lot of the system for the first year. And then the second year, it would have been wide open for me.
In addition to the preparation at Tabernacle, Miller took his skills to Toronto to Crestwood Prep to continue to work on his game while multiple offers came through.
The only thing I really had to change that I was doing on here is learning the pace of the game, learning how to play against high-level competition every night. But in terms of, you know, living-wise, like getting up early in the morning to go to practice and stuff like that, making sure I'm on time to class and all that was pretty good to prepare me for the next level.
Miller's former coach, current head coach of the Falcons boys basketball team, Kevin Clark, says he's happy for the young athlete.
Franco, I mean, what can I say about him? Hard worker, you know, in and off the basketball court. Very good kid, well-rounded, you know, and I couldn't want it for, you know, such a better person.
Head coach of the Rebels men's basketball team, Kermit Davis, also traveled to Grand Bahama Island for the major announcement and was able to hang out with Miller's loved ones as they celebrated this major milestone in true Bahamian fashion. Kimberly Mullings, ZNesto Sports.
Well, the other Paris Mary now about high school soccer playoff action for you. Megan Shepherd took in a clash between the young Lady Buccaneers and the Blue Jays.
Soccer play on the St. George's High School field between the Lucine International Junior Girls and the 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays. Buccaneers head coach Nigel Kirkby says they've had a great season thus far.
Junior girls are still got 2 more games to play in their season against 8 Mile Rock and Sunland. So far, doing really well, looking to finish top of the championship there, but I'm sure the other teams are trying to knock us off. And then senior girls so far are undefeated, so the girls are doing well.
As the season winds down and the semi-finals approach, Kirkby says he's encouraging the team to stick to the game plan and he is confident that they will advance.
Bottom line is they've been working really hard on their skills, and a lot of it is to do with our organisation and how we play the game and sticking to our plan. I think 8 Mile Rock are going to be a fast physical team, and we've got to make sure we stick to our game plan and not get drawn into the battle that they decide they want to choose.
Head coach of the Lady Blue Jays, Sherelle Pinder, says the girls are going into the matchup feeling pretty confident.
This is our 4th game. We've won 1 game so far. We've lost 2. But we're feeling pretty confident about this game. We played them before, and the girls have practiced real hard, and they're coming out here to do their best. So whatever happens, we'll be happy with it.
Her advice to the team, teamwork. Remember all of their skills from practice and execute.
I'll just let them know to just play their best. Give it their all. Remember what we did in practice, and remember team. Play with your team, consider your team, and just get the ball into the goal.
The Lady Buccaneers of LIS defeated the Blue Jays 5-0. Megan Shepherd, ZNS Total Sports.
And just a note for you, let me tell you, Stephen Gardner and Sinead Miller Evo, they're running over there in Shanghai early in the morning. And I got us to the NBA East and West Championship starts. So this is going to be this weekend. And Boozy and Ali Campbell paint the bench, baby. It's almost that time. Let's look at sports.
To look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
She wants to be like it's the Grand Bahama Homecoming on Saturday, May 19th. Starring the hitmaker, the culture and lovers rock king, Taurus Riley.
Taurus Riley.
Doing all his hits. Live on stage. Saturday, May 19th at Gombe Park, International Bazaar, Freeport, Bahamas. It's the Grand Bahama Homecoming. It's Monday weekend. Purchase your early bird special tickets now. General admission $20. VIP $35. All access $60. Purchase tickets at all Fluid Factory locations. Brought to you by Alive.
Oh, Taurus.
Bahamas massive, Freeport to be exact. This is your singer Taurus Riley, and do remember, May 19th, that's where it's at, Taurus Riley. Homecoming vibes, homecoming celebration. I know the Bahamas is just like home. See? Sing it, sing it. We'll be there 19th of May. Sing some nice, should be a nice place. See? Salute. Come on, well, everybody know how we shine. Someone just to show how much we
met, baby, no need for running around. Looks like you cool me down. You cool me down, girl.
Okay, let me say to you, happy Mother's Day. I
Thank
hope you enjoy
you.
your Sunday. I know you
I
guys
will.
have a great time.
Yes, we will.
Okay, go for to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. It's a tough job.
It's a tough job?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had all that food today. Boy, you should see what they eat today. They ain't need no food on Sunday.
I only had a salad. That's going to do it for us here in the North on behalf of our entire ZNS News team.
Judith, happy Mother's Day.
I'm Shashina Roll Parkinson. Happy Mother's Day, Carol. The Bahamas tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The FNM touts its plan for transforming the Bahamas over the next 4 years. National Security looks at gunshot detection in vulnerable areas. And tributes and tears for a former senator. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The FNM says it plans to transform the Bahamas over the next 4 years. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping news tonight, creating a more vibrant and developed Bahamas is what Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis wants to achieve during his 5-year term in office. During a rally last night at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters to commemorate the party's 2017 general election win, Prime Minister Minnis listed some of the achievements of his government since coming to office. Aldaviz Monnings was there.
From national security,
we've seen a more timely response to your complaints from the police. We're seeing them out and about, and we're seeing prosecutions going through the courts.
To tourism.
There are plans to do tours and activities for our 6.3 million tourists to experience. And in our aviation sector, we have plans to build new airports.
Foreign affairs.
With the return of the British High Commission to Nassau, hopefully within a year's time, the Bahamas will have ready access to 3 member states of the UN Security Council.
Social services.
And we're just about done with the creation of all comment boxes that will be dealt with and addressed by our complaints, compliance and procurement unit.
And education.
This time next year, every single school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is going to be 100% digitized.
Cabinet ministers of the Free National Movement government listed some of the accomplishments achieved during its first year in office during a rally to commemorate that 1-year anniversary of its 2017 general election victory at the party's Mackey Street headquarters Thursday night. But it was Free National Movement leader, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, who pitched the home run in explaining how his government intends to renew, modernize, and transform the Bahamas over the next 5 years.
Our economic prospects are improving, but we must do more to boost jobs and opportunity. Tourism is on the rebound. But there is still much work to be done to ensure that our tourism engine is in full motion. Still, amidst our challenges, the Bahamas is much better off than it was a year ago.
The Free National Movement leader told members and supporters attending the rally that the party can only achieve historic reform and revitalization when they are all stronger together.
Those who seek to divide us do so out of their own selfish and narrow interests. They are more loyal to their cause than they are to needs of the Bahamian people. Those who say we have accomplished little have purposely closed their eyes and ears because it is in their interest to sow discord.
The Prime Minister told those in attendance at the election victory rally that the Bahamas is now heading in a more promising direction. He encouraged supporters to use this time wisely to create a more vibrant and modern Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Also last night, the Prime Minister hinted at what he described as the People's Budget, which will be delivered in Parliament later this month.
We will have good news for University of Bahamas.
That's right.
We will have good news for Family Island students.
Yes.
We will have great news for BTVI.
Yes.
We will have better news for bread basket items.
Yes.
We will have exceptional news for the poor with electricity.
Yes.
And we will even have greater news for our young entrepreneurs. I will encourage and advise all Bahamians to have their house ready so it can become a part of the University of the Bahamas inventory for accommodation. But you will hear more when the people's budget is reviewed.
Free National Movement Deputy Leader, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest is again clarifying the government's reasoning for borrowing $1.4 billion. Addressing supporters at the party's mini-rally last night, he explained that the government had to pay numerous bills left behind by the former Progressive Liberal Party administration. Turnquest, who is also the Minister of Finance, acknowledged that expenses engaged on behalf of the Bahamian people must bring value to the Bahamian people, as there's no money to waste. He explained how the government plans to lower the country's deficit.
We want to bring that debt down from a number that is approaching $8 billion. We want to bring that down. It's 57% of GDP. We want to bring it down to 50% of GDP as a start within the next 2 years. We want to bring our annual deficit down from $322 million down to 1.8% in the first instance, coming down to 1.5% of GDP. We want to be down below $200 million.
Yes.
It's the only way that we're going to be able to balance our budget and to start to make a dent in this massive debt that we have.
Minister Turnquest also outlined some of the financial goals the government has already met.
We've seen where our ratings have been stabilized. We've seen where today we have already increased our revenue by $25 million. We've reduced our net recurrent spending by $67 million. And we've reduced the GFS deficit by $92.3 million.
In other news tonight, National Security Minister the Honorable Marvin Dames says he feels as though officials are moving in the right direction in tackling crime. It's something he says is evidenced by the reduction in crime figures. Minister Dames notes now that renewed focus has been placed on the closed-circuit television program, which will be expanded.
We have our CCTV program back on track, and so we have already begun this process of putting closed-circuit televisions in many of these at-risk areas, and so that program will continue. We came into office, and most of the cameras that we had were not working. We had bandwidth issues. We had any number of issues. So the public can expect to see now a built-on, not only on CCTV cameras, but what you will see laid on that is gunshot detection. So we will be able to triangulate anytime someone fires a gun, we will be able to triangulate where that shot is coming from.
Well, as we told you this week, the Minnis administration observed its one-year anniversary, and it's against this backdrop that the minister made his comments, reflecting on other programs and initiatives which will be rolled out, while existing ones are expected to improved upon in the arsenal of the various law enforcement agencies.
We have restructured and now have the citizen security and justice program right where we want it. The IDB is satisfied. We're satisfied as a government. And now we are beginning the aggressive setup of community centers within the respective communities. And so we're taking jobs, we're taking social development, we're taking sports, we're taking training and domestic violence and conflict resolutions to the community. And that's what you would see from these community centers. And they will work in conjunction, of course, with the Royal Bahamas Police Force. They will work in conjunction with the Urban Renewal and Social Services and Ministry of Youth and Ministry of Education.
The Water and Sewage Corporation is continuing the Long Island Water Supply Improvement Project with a second phase to begin in 6 weeks, though Executive Director of the corporation, Adrian Gibson, couldn't say when the entire island will have access to potable water. BHM Company Limited was awarded a $3.5 million contract on Thursday, and Gibson says the contract will be awarded to another company for a third phase at the end of which time, marking an investment of $10 million. A timeline was not given for when that contract would be awarded. Meantime, Gibson says the corporation has drafted estimates to supply water to the Cape Santa Maria and Stella Maris resorts. Gibson, who is also the island's Member of Parliament, says the goal is to complete as much as the budget will allow during the government's 5-year term.
Certainly, the third phase with the additional lots further north, we're looking to complete within this term. The phase is looking furthest south and furthest north. We are examining ways and means now as to how we could complete, whether that means entering into public-private partnerships or raising the money some other way, borrowing, using in-house personnel. So we're exploring all the options at this point.
Now, Gibson says the water improvement project for Long Island, New Providence, and 4 other islands is made possible through a $28.33 million Caribbean Development Bank loan, supplemented by $13.3 million from the government. He gave an update on those projects.
Works are substantially complete in San Salvador, and they are approaching substantial completion in St. Andrews. Works have also been substantially completed in Pinewood Gardens, Phase B, and Coral Lakes / Boat Swing on New Providence. I am happy to report that we anticipate going to tender for works on Crooked Island during the 3rd quarter of 2018. The corporation's engineers are also reviewing the scope of work on Cat Island with a view to aligning the proposed works with the available budget. And so I confirm this government's intention to bring relief to the residents of that island as well.
Well, still ahead tonight, a former student returns to his Fox Hill alma mater to give back. And a former senator is laid to rest. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.
Want to pay less? Or want to save more? Do both. Just bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. With a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank, you'll enjoy one easy monthly payment, plus the chance to win $5,000. So move your loans from other banks to Commonwealth Bank and get ready to pay less and save more.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Accept it. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box. Fully loaded and made fresh for only you. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
For years, BTC has been keeping the islands of the Bahamas connected. We are celebrating Earth Day today, and we're in one of the country's most beautiful islands, Long Island, to have that celebration.
The kids are very excited with Earth Day because we lose a lot of our plants during the hurricane. So to replant something, they're very excited to do that.
Yeah, normally the kids in Long Island are very excited about new things, new ideas, and especially trying to protect the environment. You know, Long Island does really enthused on education. We try to ensure the importance, even though you be educated, importance of the nature and the things that are around you and try to protect them as much as possible.
It's good to see that companies in the Bahamas, especially in Long Island, is more involved with helping schools out and really allowing the students to appreciate what's around them. And it's encouraging them to go and want to find more plants to plant and make their environment beautiful.
We'd like to say thank you for this beautiful plant, and we look forward to eating the plants from it.
BTC has brought me here to Long Island with one important mission: find the island's brightest and best. We did that because our company understands the importance in investing in our most precious resources. And so, from all of us, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. Tonight we continue to talk with cabinet ministers about their first year in office. Tonight we hear from National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dames. He talks about the state of the economy when the FNM came to power.
It is expected that there will be challenges, and those challenges are as a result of any number of things, including what we met as an administration when we took office. The financial position of this country was in very dire straits. And if we're going to be successful in rolling out any number of agendas in any number of these departments, you need finances to push it along the way. And so as a government, we clearly understood that, and we knew exactly what we had to do coming in to begin the process of rolling out our agenda. And we're beginning to do that. The economy now is beginning to take a turn, but there's still a significant deficit as a country that we have to contend with. And so I believe as we move forward into the next fiscal period and beyond, Bahamians will get an opportunity to see exactly why they elected this government to power.
Now you can hear more about the government's work over the past year by tuning in on Sunday at 8 p.m. to the program Free National Movement, A Year Beyond the Polls with host Shanique Miller. Well, the government is discussing the possibility of enforcing a code of conduct for the new privately funded Bahamas Carnival. But Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, says a wider public discussion must be had on whether action should be taken to enforce an overall standard of public behavior. His comments come on the aftermath of Bahamas Carnival, where there's been intense criticism, especially by some in the religious community, about scantily clad revelers parading through the streets. Mr. Pintard says if the religious community claims some of the public spaces with events of their own, it could be more effective than criticism, while he believes it's not government's role to ban something because one group considers it offensive. While government has had talks about behavior at Bahamas Carnival, Mr. Pintard says it doesn't want to come across as hypocritical.
If you were to travel in the area of downtown any given day when cruise ships are in, the same clothing that's being worn in Carnival is on display on Bay Street from the cruise ship to the various beaches, etc. Is it inappropriate and illegal according to our laws for Carnival? Then it must be inappropriate and illegal for what we are permitting our tourists to do or Bahamians in public spaces, because a number of our residents at parties using public spaces like beaches or parks are wearing similar clothes. And so this is a debate that we must have as a community, and then we must make a firm determination as to whether or not the law is in fact being followed.
Pintard says he understands the concert series in particular was a success and comparable or bigger than the first year.
Look, what we're looking to do is to divest. We have to determine what that formula is. So if somebody is going to use a name that has already been reserved by the government of the Bahamas, then obviously there is a cost for that. And so we'll have to have a discussion on whether or not we expect the people to be compensated for it, or do we simply vest it into a group. We do not intend to vest it in any one group. A collective would be an option, but certainly not any one group. And so all of these are matters we are presently discussing.
Former Senator Clara Hall King was remembered today as hundreds gathered for a state-recognized funeral service at St. Agnes Anglican Church. Appointed a senator during the Pinling era, Hall King was hailed by Senator Dion Folk, speaking on behalf of the government, as a woman who played all of her roles with passion.
In this sacred place this morning, in knowing of her full life, her commitment and her sacrifices, can fail to see the very highest qualities of motherhood, patriotism, and love of God. Her long life of achievements, both in the Christian ministry and secular commitments, was not like a light hidden under a bushel, but shone forth brightly for all the world to see.
PLP leader Philip Brave Davis says Hall King was a woman of purpose, setting out on a course of achievement early in life.
Appreciated that she had to make something of herself in the late 40s and 50s when she was a young girl. Whether prodded by her parents or on her own initiative, she set about to do something with her life's journey, with the key ideals of continuous education and self-improvement. Time for her represented opportunity, and time was not to be wasted. Every second, every minute, every day of her life was an opportunity for something to be accomplished.
Now, Hall King's eldest child, former Chief Justice Sir Burton Hall, spoke fondly of his mother, becoming emotional as he recalled their last meeting and anticipated the next.
On Friday, the 12th of January of this year,
Following a dental appointment, I visited my mother briefly before returning home to complete preparations for my biannual 5,000-mile trek across the Atlantic to where my current duties have taken me over the past near 9 years. We parted, looking forward to my return at the end of July. I could not know that when I next laid eyes on her, it would be in a mortician's parlor.
The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation will introduce its new pop-up farmers market in Centerville. Executive Chairman Michael Folk says this step is a part of the organization's expansion in New Providence, and the Member of Parliament for Centerville, Reese Chipman, says he believes constituents will take advantage of it.
We have tapped into a great demand for Bahamian produce, and in response to the increased demand to improve health and wellness in our communities, we are announcing another expansion in the Over the Hill communities in New Providence. As stated before, the Family Island farmers are excited and pleased with BAIC, and we note that BAIC is sourcing all of the produce and fruits we can obtain from Family Island farmers, with no regard to the 9,000 maximum amount that has been the policy for many years at the Ministry of Agriculture.
The Centerville area, especially the Father Marshall Cooper Park, is a very good location for us. We have persons who may not have the transportation now can walk to the farmers market, which is something that's very good for the community. We also, for me, I'm just very excited about this event, Minister, because the quality of the products. We are in fact moving forward with the agenda of our administration to empower the people of the Bahamas and also to empower our community.
Former student of the Sandlands Primary School, acting CEO and Managing Director Captain Dwayne Hutchinson, giving back to the alma mater which helped to shape him to become a leading citizen of this country. During a special assembly at the school's campus yesterday, Captain Hutchinson, along with Maritime officials, spoke to the students about the industry and the opportunities available.
I went to 3 schools at Foxhill. Which one do I choose? It has to be where you started.
Acting CEO and Managing Director of the Bahamas Maritime Authority, Captain Dwayne Hutchinson, boasting about the knowledge he gained from the Sandlands Primary School, an institution he says gave him that extra push he needed to rise to the top in the maritime industry. Captain Hutchinson says obtaining a full scholarship while getting paid to explore the world afforded him the opportunity to fulfill his long-time dream within the lucrative maritime sector.
I left Foxdale subdivision, got on a plane, flew all the way over to Scotland, and started my shipping education. In Scotland, Scotland is the coldest, darkest, bleakest place you want to go to in the winter. I never saw the sun for 1 month. The only way you knew the difference between day and night was because that's when your watch came up. But I persevered.
Minister of Transport and Local Government, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, informed the energetic primary school students that there are a number of employment opportunities available for them in the maritime industry, but they must do their best academically to prepare themselves. He used Captain Hutchinson as an example.
Captain Dwayne Hutchinson, sat in the same seats where you now sit some years ago. The teachers that were here then prepared Captain Hutchinson to be what he is now. But Captain Hutchinson had to do some things too. Captain Hutchinson had to listen to those teachers, yes? Captain Hutchinson had to do his homework. Those ships have up to 5,000 passengers, but those same ships have 1,500 to 2,000 persons working on them. Those are jobs that will be waiting for you, for your aunts, your uncles.
Maritime Week honoree Peter Galandris gave the students a pep talk about the future and benefits of the maritime industry.
The maritime world is like a big family.
and we want you to be part of that family. We want you, as you're growing up, we want you to work hard, and we want you to consider that Maritime is a good place to be. It'll take good care of you, it'll bring you home safely, it'll teach you skills, it'll help you get ahead, and it'll help you just like Captain Hutchinson.
And the assembly would not be complete without a special Junkanoo rush out by Fox Hill's very own Original Congos. LaDawn Davis.
Customs officers say they want to make their profession great again, and they're using the occasion of Customs Month this month to revive their social club and ties with the community. Tomorrow they'll hold a fair on the grounds of the Customs Department on University Boulevard, hoping to tighten their connection with the public.
It's building the bridge with us and the public who import and the traveling public. Because most people, when they think about customs officers, they think about you digging up in their bags at the airport. But there's much more to customs than that. So we want you to see the fun side with us come Saturday. So we ask you to come up from 12 noon until midnight. And guess what? We're going to have the launching of the customs pop band. Believe it or not, we have singers, we have dancers, we have all the good things for music you can find within the customs department. And our brothers from the other law enforcement band, namely the police band, the defense force band, and the prison pop band.
Now, the group has also adopted a school as part of their social outreach. They work along with the T.A. Thompson Junior High School, as Social Club Secretary Janae Edgecombe explains.
We are planning to go into the school, assist with the students, because there's a lot that's been going on, and they know that we are here for them. We provide computers. We have a lot of things mandated to assist them with.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Janine Bethel, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. In local market news, Fidelity Bank Limited Series E 6% notes is set to mature on May 31, 2018. Holders of Series E will receive the final interest payment and principal repaid. Commonwealth Brewery Limited, J.S. Johnson Limited, and Bahamas Waste Limited have been added to the list of May 2018 dividend announcements. Commonwealth Brewery Limited will pay 37 cents per share on May 24th, J.S. Johnson 15 cents per share on May 25th, and Bahamas Waste Limited will pay 9 cents per share on May 30th. Upcoming annual general meetings are set for First Caribbean on Wednesday, May 16, 2018, Kalina Holdings Limited on Monday, May 28, 2018, and Commonwealth Brewery Limited on Thursday, May 31, 2018. In market activity this week, 2 companies advanced. Doctors Hospital closing at $1.60 per share, and First Caribbean closing at $8.89 per share. Commonwealth Bank Limited was the sole decliner to close at $3.85 per share. BISX trading activity went up as 30,269 shares traded, from 14,580 shares in the previous week. Finco and Consolidated Water were responsible for 43% and 25% of this week's trade volume, respectively. Here's your wealth tip for the week. If you're looking for an investment that is diverse, then perhaps you should be looking at a mutual fund. Rather than having to decide on individual stocks and bonds, a mutual fund offers the investor a variety of investments. Mutual funds are designed to help lower investment risk through holding an assortment of securities. This feature helps to mitigate against the impact of one security performing poorly, while other star performers provide a buffer to offset that risk. A mutual fund may be ideal for the investor who is seeking growth while earning higher returns at a lower expense cost. Speak to an investment advisor or financial planner today to see if a mutual fund is best for you. I'm Janine Bethel, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap.
Jacob, guess what? I know how to get out of trouble with my mom. Nuh-uh. Uh-huh. One time, my mommy got mad at my daddy, and next day, he gave her this aqua bag. And she got so happy. And another time, he gave her the same aqua bag, and she got so happy again. Yeah, so yesterday, when I spilled my drink on her new couch, I ran and got one of those same aqua bags. And it actually worked. What? Yeah, she wasn't mad at me anymore. It's like magic. Whoa.
Come and discover the magic for yourself. No matter what the occasion, it can work for you too. Visit any John Bull location and select something that'll make every occasion brighter. Make every moment John Bull.
Jacob, come here.
First Care is an absolute game changer for thousands of Bahamians who do not have major medical insurance, and it also serves as a supplementary plan for those who may have high deductibles on their existing major medical. First Care is incredibly affordable, but for our Alive subscribers, you get an even deeper discount. Our Silver subscribers receive a 10% discount. Our Gold subscribers receive a 15% discount, and our Platinum subscribers receive a 20% discount. We're excited to be a part of Alive's Rewards program because this is a new and innovative way for us to reach our customers.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan, and the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Welcome back. Well, we've all been guilty of it at some point in our lives, and that's being ungrateful, whether we mean to or not. And that's what the newest Bahamian film, Ungrateful, written and produced by Dario Poitier, is all about. This Bahamian movie will be premiered tomorrow at 7:30 during a special gala event at the Atlantis Theatre, Paradise Island. Bahamian actor Nathan J. Burrows is playing the lead role, Sam.
It pretty much tells the story about a typical Bahamian mother who sacrificed everything to send her one son off to school with hopes of him coming back to pave a way to financial freedom. But as fate would have it, he would fall in love with this girl from America, and he completely turns his back on his mother.
Pretty much Sam is what everyone's now calling Mr. Ungrateful. And he pretty much goes off to school and really disconnects from his family, and that is something that I guess I personally got a chance to experience in my life, so this has just been a pleasure to be able to do that.
I want you to get admitted in the hospital for a few days.
What your name is?
Well, stay tuned. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We'll be back after this.
Whether you call her mom, mummy, or mama, nothing compares to a mother's love. And at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, we salute mothers with great specials like Bluebird Juices 46-ounce can, $3.29. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Value Time foam plates, 30 count, 2 for $3. Pine Sol cleaners, 28-ounce size, $2.99. Green peppers, $1.59 per pound. Pepperidge Farm cakes, 19-ounce size, $4.99. Thanks, Mom, from Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
What's a smart way to refresh your home this season? Get inspired by Carpet and Cabinet World. See how easy it is to transform your living room and kitchen with our wide variety of flooring and cabinet options. We offer top quality in the latest styles in ceramic, porcelain, and wood. Did you know we're also fully stocked with state-of-the-art forward horizontal blinds? Stop by Cabinet World to explore the exciting possibilities with our customized cabinetry to suit your budget, style, and taste. Carpet and Cabinet World. We make it happen. Get your free quote today.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
It's time for a check of your weather forecast. And Basil, everyone's hoping for a good Mother's Day weekend weather. Can you assure us of that?
Well, at least the first half of the day seems to going to be okay, but we could get some showers popping up in the afternoon. All the details coming up late in the newscast. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Valets, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also Greenville, Key, and Marsh Harbor in Abaco. Here in the capital, 77 degrees, Harbor Island, Eleuthera, 78 also in Roxanne, Eleuthera. Staniel Key in the Exumas, 80 degrees, 80 also in Kemps Bay, South Andros. Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 79 degrees. In San Salvador, Rum Key and Otterstown, Cat Island, Georgetown as well, reporting 80 degrees, 81 in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, and Ragged Island. Matthew Town and Nago, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Clara Hall King, and the Pink Setter. In the northwestern islands, you can anticipate northeast to east wind speeds around 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The low tide will take place at 10:57 tonight. In the central Bahamas, winds southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take you into the southeast Bahamas, the winds are a little stiffer there, 12 to 18 knots, also out of the southeast. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And caution flags are up there. And then we take you into Saturday, northwestern parts of our country. Southeast winds, they will be increasing 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights also building 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. Tide-wise, it's going to be low at 11:13 in the morning, high tide at 5:28 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Caution flags once again. You're going to to have choppy seas at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then on Sunday, which is Mother's Day, in the northwestern islands, southeast winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. Low tide 11:56 in the morning, high tide at 6:13 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, that caution flags remain as the winds stay out of the southeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 13 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Weight loss is a health priority for many Bahamians. When we are overweight, we are at a much higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, certain cancers, and even mood disorders like depression and anxiety. If you add 30 minutes of brisk walking to your daily routine, you could burn about 150 more calories a day. To lose a pound a week, you generally need to eliminate 500 calories a day. Of course, the more you walk and the quicker your pace, the more calories you'll burn. To reap the most health benefits from your exercise intensity must generally be at a moderate or vigorous level. For weight loss, the more intense your exercise or the longer you exercise, the more calories you burn. However, balance is important. Overdoing it can increase your risk of soreness, injury, and burnout. If you're new to regular exercise and physical activity, you may need to start out at a light intensity and gradually build up to a moderate, vigorous intensity. Eating fewer calories through dietary changes seems to promote weight loss more effectively than even physical activity. Combining 30 minutes of walking with sensible eating habits can make a difference. Commit to losing weight through healthy eating and exercise and improve your health starting today. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Hey, what you saying, baby? Mother's Day coming, what you gonna buy the wifey?
Boy, I can't even sleep. The wife keep complaining that she tying up these cabinet doors because they keep dropping off.
Boy, you better go down by corner Bahamas on Queens Highway, and they have a location in Nassau. They're having a 35% store-wide sale until May 18th, and you can lay away until October 31st.
My Lord, you ain't serious?
Yes, boy. And they just carry all maplewood cabinets, flooring, tiles, windows, and some pretty colored granite.
Django, I got dust down the corner Bahamas.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, everybody. This is your Fun Look at Sports on a Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. New Providence Softball Association play last night. We start off with the national champs, CNS Hitmen, playing their first game of the season, and pitcher Alcott Forbes already in mid-season form. Dion White getting the start for the Commander Security Truckers. Hitmen, they are on a mission again this season as Forbes struck out 17 en route to the 7-zip win.
We started from January. We set a course. Team set goals. And we out here to try and accomplish them. Nothing to worry about at this point because, it's the first game of the season. Once we get deep into the season, I think the team get better. We're defending champions. We come in again to win another championship and another Commonwealth championship. We put in a lot of work. And in order to beat us, you got to put in some work. You can't beat us just sitting down because we work every day trying to be the best that we could be in this game.
In ladies play, Ashanti Davil made her return to the diamond to lead the BTC Lady Warriors by their live strikers 18-zip in 3 innings.
Yeah, it was a pretty straightforward game, and I just came back after a year from maternity leave, so it felt really good being on the mound again, getting those first games to the South, and really proud of the team. Now we just have to stay strong as a unit, and we'll make it to the championship.
Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation National and Novice Championship set for Saturday at Melia Resort. President Joel Stubbs excited as to what has been happening leading up to the championships.
We have a lot of newcomers, which is very great this year. The audience will be dazzled and impressed to see quite new faces on stage based on the past, where you should have each year the same bodybuilders from past coming back and forth and displaying their craft. We're going to see a lot of new faces, so it's showing the growth is happening in our sport.
Now, despite the new faces, a split has happened which will affect the Bahamas.
The sport had a separation last year in that they now split into 2 different organizations now. It's the IFBB Amateur and the Elite Pro for one side, and then the other side is the NPC and the IFBB Pro League. So now it gives athletes the ability to venture, to either remain with us here as the IFBB Amateur League, or they can now go to the NPC League to try, voice their talent to become pros on either of the 2 forums. And that's something that's new that's happened. I think recently a lot of the Freeport athletes have chosen to go the NPC way. And so I think this year we might not see the like of many of the Freeport athletes on our stage.
The Nationals used as a CAC qualifier, and Stubbs made it clear.
Once you compete in our Nationals, then you won't have the opportunity to compete for the Bahamas in the CAC games now, unfortunately. Because our team is picked from our Nationals. That's how we put together our national team from our national championships. And so those athletes who choose to be a part of another show, another forum, unfortunately they won't have the opportunity to display in our nationals, and so they can't be a part of our team.
The BAISS into volleyball season. They're playing at the Aquinas Courts, and that's where we find Amajal Knowles.
After a slight delay, the BAISS got back into the swing of their volleyball season as it gears up for the playoffs. Facilitator of the competition, Lawrence Irving, on exactly what caused the holdup.
Because of the inclement weather, we're trying to get the girls in. We are like 4 or 5 games behind because by now we should have been finished up with the season. And then we have some boys game, that we have to finish up this afternoon. Hopefully we can get it. So by Monday, latest, we'll be in our championships and playoff.
On the court, the SAC Big Red Machine made slight work of the Aquinas College Aces in 2 sets, 17-9 and 17-12. Winning player Justin Burrows.
We played pretty good. We struggled a bit at the beginning of the season, but we seem to get it to get up. We seem to execute this game, minimizing our errors and just making better passes. I feel like we could do pretty good inside the playoffs once we make our adjustments towards the different teams.
In the second game, Aquinas again coming up on the losing end, this time falling to the CW Saunders Crusaders in 2 sets, 17-11 and 17-12. Kerwin Ingram on his team's victory.
The first set was a little rough, but we came up with the victory. So we didn't do that bad, but we was a little off for like 2 weeks due to the weather, so I feel like we did well.
All right, so you think your team can improve on for the playoffs?
I think we can improve on the serving and our attack. Our attack needs to be stronger, and I think we need to, have more confidence and more intensity on the court.
Play continues today at the Aquinas College volleyball courts. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
In our continued conversation this evening with the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honourable Michael Pintard, he speaks on his one-year anniversary since his appointment.
We held for the first time a sports conclave where all the federations were present, and we looked at a wide range of issues affecting sports development. We believe that what our approach is, what our objectives are, have gotten out. We've outlined the 6 pillars of our sports development program, which I believe is very clear to most of the federations. We'll continue to drum that up. And we are aligning every initiative we have under each of these 6 pillars. And so for me, I always have a sense of urgency, and I wanted things to move faster. I'm confident, however, the foundation will allow us to do that going forward.
The ladies' national basketball team will hold their first practice session Saturday morning at 8 at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. They are now under interim coach Wade Watson.
Players out there who are part of the diaspora, the Bahamian diaspora, and may be interested in playing, we always welcome them. All players, female players who are aware of players outside and may be interested in coming to participate, we like to also encourage them to encourage those persons to come apart. But for me, just being mentioned last week or being brought to my attention last week, and not necessarily being as a part of the women's program. This is my first time, so it's kind of challenging for me because I don't know a lot of the players. I only follow them when they travel and compete. But in terms of knowing who the players are and finding those players, I'll have to rely on Coach Yo and Pharrell and so on and so forth to facilitate.
And that's going to put a wrap on Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at what we're going to get you started with a satellite discussion, we still have some shower activity around the Exumas and Long Island area that's associated with that Stallo trough, which has been in the area now for the past several days. It should begin to lift towards the north, and there's another little troughing taking place over the extreme northwest Bahamas. That too is moving somewhat towards the west, so we're sandwiched between those two systems. So it looks as though we could get 1 or 2 showers on Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow seems to be a better day, but the first half of Sunday should be fine, that which is Mother's Day, but in the afternoon there could be 1 or 2 showers popping up. Tonight we're going in for mostly cloudy conditions with a balmy breeze that will make things a little comfortable for you tonight. Low temperature getting down to 74 degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny and warm at a high of 87 degrees. The extended weather forecast on Saturday, as we show you here in our icon, some showers taking place in the afternoon, and that will extend into Monday before things dry out the early part of next week. So for all intents and purposes, we should have a reasonably good weekend, save for the potential of 1 or 2 brief showers on Sunday afternoon. And seeing that we're not going to be here on Sunday,
absolutely,
I think this is a good time to say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the Commonwealth.
All the mothers of the Bahamas.
And also to you, by the way.
Thank you very much, Basil. Right. And there's also that customs fair, the first one, I think, that'll be at the customs ground. So it should be a fun day for the kids, too.
Yeah.
Take care of the kids, then take care of the mothers on Sunday. Well, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.